Greetings from the Whole Elephant Institute. Today is April the 30th, 2022. Walking into the community, our backyard of the Whole Elephant Institute here after my long trip to the West Coast. Started the journey on April the 4th and started gate 44, April 4th. 2022, LaGuardia Airport, New York, and returned on April the 28th, 2022, LaGuardia Airport, gate 22. I mean gate 44. Again, the airline is United Airlines, and so it has been an incredible journey of journey to the West. Came back, look at the community with beautiful spring look now. The nature has changed its clothing, and really feel a lot of joy of coming back to this community to experience the spring. And went over there to check on the beautiful plant that also went through a long journey, and eventually brought the plant to see the Shenying show in Seattle together with our Shenying team, Shenong team, and from the seat 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, altogether 13, from 7 to 13, altogether 7 members. Well, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 actually is 8 members. Yeah, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. No, it is 7 members. Yeah, 7 to 13, 7 members. Went to see the Shenying show, and I was at number 7, and Aaron from Whidbey Island, Oak Harbor at 8. Miss Noah Genitosio from Seattle, number 9, and Clear from Seattle, originally from Wisconsin, number 10. Etienne Pearson, number 11. Matthew Gordon, number 12. And Tom Brooks, number 13. 7 Shenong Labs team members went to see the Shenying show in Seattle, and together with clusters of birds from paradise, flower with leaves, including my training leaves, and also a cluster of chosen plants Matthew Gordon was cultivating. I used my right hand fingers to touch each plant and presented a question: would you like to go see the Shenying show? And when the plant provide a positive answer, manifesting into a force drawing my hand closer to the plant, or when they present a negative answer, manifesting in the plant pushing my fingers away from the plant. So after giving those choices to each plant, we took one leaf from the plant and carried it to the Shenying show. Yeah. And following the Shenying show, I journeyed into Seattle and stationed in my old neighborhood called Magnolia when my name was at the stage of Dr. Tang Wen Wang. And and in Magnolia stayed with our beautiful hostess Marty, who actually is a dear friend of Dr. Gerald Nippon's wife, Barbara Nippon. What a small world. Reminds me that actually on the surface there was this random, human world encountering, sometimes manifesting into conflicts. But in the bigger picture, it's all about predestination. It's all about the people had their previous relationship in the previous lives, and now in this life, leading to what happens unfold in the daily life. So whenever we encounter certain problems, don't try to reason based upon this life's right and wrong. Even in this life, when it's all as if you are right, or as if someone is not right, don't try to hold on to your own righteousness and not understanding that other people's wrongdoings most likely is a process for you to pay off your debts. So be humble, be gentle, and trust everyone's greatness within, and only recognize our own lessons to be learned. And that's the only way that we can harmonize everything. If we're always holding on to other people's problems and want other people to change based upon our righteousness, ended up the knot that we made in our past life cannot be resolved in this life, when heaven already presented us with the greatest opportunity to resolve. So just want to keep that note in mind when I'm thinking about today's lessons and today's issues, when I start to recognize that some practitioners, because they consider themselves are practitioners now and they are saving people, they justify everything they do to be a heaven's mandate, and then want the ordinary people to do the way that they consider to be the way. But as a matter of fact, when you do that, you no longer actually are putting yourself within the law, but actually above the law. When you put yourself above the law, then you're no longer a cultivator, and all kinds of problems will start to manifest. And you not only cannot deliver the truth, you actually can cause a lot of misunderstandings of the world people towards the law, fallen dafa. So yeah, I think that's something that I'm gradually learning myself. Before, always say I'm always right. Now I say, even if I'm always right, when other people start to treat you badly, you have to say, I need to find out what I need to do better and how to learn the lesson, how to take full responsibilities of the choices I made. That you cannot have both. When you have made a choice to embark on a sacred mission, most likely you cannot have sentimental love, cushy lifestyle, people's praise, and all those things that you were so much taking for granted and consider that supposed to be yours. And you're actually going to lose them, and when you lose them, you're gaining something, which is exactly what you have made the choice to want to have. So how can you have one thing to lead you to divinity, in the same time you don't want to let go of your humanness? it's not gonna work. Yeah. So when you actually enlighten to this, everything becomes very simple, and your heart is filled with tranquility and gratefulness to everybody who comes to you. Sometimes those helpers, they are hidden behind berating you, smear your reputation, and as if they are bad people, but they are actually the true helpers, and they are the most important helpers. And just like in this trip, when I went to visit Mr. Milt Robinson, I still consider he is the one that helped me most throughout the trip. He was the one that orchestrated all the wonderful drama that unfolded throughout this trip, Journey to the West. And I sincerely want to thank you, Milt, for what you have done to contribute to my elevation as a cultivator, to present tests to my heart, and to see whether I am truly genuine, loyal, committed to this teamship as a team leader. And remind me that no matter how bad one team member might be, don't give up on him. And no matter how you think you are better than the other people, always remember that person's contribution to the teamship, and always give the credit to those who have done the work. So like Matthew Gordon, right? Yeah, I was almost about to totally leave him behind, seriously, with full disappointment of what he did during the Shen Yun show, before the Shen Yun show, and all that. And I therefore expressed negativities about Matthew Gordon. On the surface, it's negativities, but actually in every regard also very genuine criticisms, fundamentally for the improvement of Matthew Gordon as well. So that's how it goes. People do express criticisms, sometimes in a harsh way, sometimes in a gentle way, sometimes in a positive way, sometimes in as if the negative way. But as long as we are a team, we will remember, doesn't matter how we consider positive and negative, it's still us, right? So never depart from us, our togetherness, and in all time thinking about US. Yeah, US actually means us. So the entire nation is us. In one of those text messages, Milt says, we should save journey away from us. And it was like US with large character. And I was like, hey, I'm an American citizen, I love America as much as I love China. I love American people as much as I love Chinese people. And no matter where my journey is going to take me, I will always embrace all American people. And he was like, no, us means we. So then I think Milt also is using that way spiritually to teach me that actually the entire nation, United States, is us. We're together. We are one nation. We are one body. And we are inseparable. And we shall work always together. And to say no to all negativities and embrace even those superficial negativity and turn that into the most nourishing elements of our spirit. To go beyond the superficiality of criticism, and to understand behind that criticism is deep expectation and love. And that's how I view Milt's criticism. And this is really sincerely from the bottom of my heart. I see so clearly the pain of those criticism, behind that criticism, the terrible pain and the sufferings in life due to other people deceived, played games, played tricks, destroyed the ability to trust. And the moment when they smear something similar of that nature, they will very quickly retreat, from a relationship and want to hide and don't want to be hurt. Because at this age, Milt's age, no more trauma, can be taken by him without hurting himself big time, that maybe he will never be able to recover. So it's really a self-protection mechanism. And I see that, most likely a lot of people try to hide behind the cannabis plant and puff, puff, puff. They no longer want to play the role of their true self, and they'd rather let other entities to come into the body and control their mind, control their body, and then they just hide behind the plant and shivering and trembling and filled with negativity and disappointment towards the world they are living in. And that's the problem. So I actually got that message fully through my trip this time. I see, how people eventually lose their ground, lose their true identity because of fear to be strong, fear to confront the issues, and the fear to trust, fear to find the truth. And so when people start to be afraid of life itself and want to retreat and hide, and eventually no place to go, and they have to hide behind a plant that they puff into their system, Yeah, that's what I see. And I also see the great danger right now for legalization of marijuana under the name of people, shall have equal access to it. But when people use that to hide their true identity, to ignore the important lessons in the world, and I think that's not going to resolve the issue, fundamental issue. Each one of us must confront and take full responsibilities for our actions. So throughout my journey, I was also so happy to reconnect with so many wonderful people who are so ready to learn the truth. And just the moment when you show the truth, they just embrace it. They're so thirsty. That's like the true water, the body really needs it, and they starve. Starvation is not going to kill people so fast, but no water for 3 days is pretty much causing, the whole body to die out. So water is most precious, and the truth is like water for a human being, and only truth can save people.